Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. I hope we're not buffering this morning. I hope we have good signal this morning and we can have a live show. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work. Extra special, big up. Shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. It takes a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work to be able to do that. I'm so passionate about people that work multiple jobs because I've been there. 4 years straight of working two jobs, two full-time jobs, and I know exactly how it feels. Okay? Shout out to the people going out to work, of course. Shout out to the children going back to school this morning, although probably no children are on the show. Shout out to the good, clean-hearted people who want good for others as much as you want good for yourself. Shout out to you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs. Shout out to my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees, my truck drivers, the Uber, the Lyft drivers, long-distance trucking drivers. Shout out to everybody out there this morning. You are tuning in to the morning show with SouFLoTV we call Morning Thoughts. All right? It is what we are thinking in the morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. For those of you who won't be around to the end of this show at the top of the hour, because some of you are listening right now on your way to work, you're on the train, you're on a bus, you're in your car. You are tuned in right now, but you're going to have to get out and go clock into work and get the day moving, earn your bread. So before you go, in the middle of the conversation, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you stay focused today on your happiness. I hope you spread a little love around today. And I hope that you continue to have positive vibrations throughout the day. All right? We just want to start the day off right. That's it. Nothing else. All right. Now, yesterday I put up a video. And the video, if you haven't seen it yet, I suggest that you go watch it. Let me shout out some people. Good morning, Giovanni Williams. Good morning, Sash. Good morning, Robbie Corrigan. Big bro, good morning. See you up in here. Good morning, Article Ladola Gardner. Good morning. Flo, celebrate single. Oh, no. Celebrate single. Oh, no. Okay. I'm guessing that's music, your music. All right. Listen, I put a video up yesterday, and the video has to do with politics. And the video was about who I am going to vote for in this election and why, right? So it's a bit of a personal issue to an angle. But I've noticed some things that I really have to question myself. Well, I'm questioning people, but I'm questioning myself. You know, let me clear one up first before I go into the other one. So there was a subscriber, or I don't know if it's a subscriber or an agitator, commenter, that said, SouFlo, why you don't no need to lie, SouFlo. I've never heard any veteran say that what you just said. So I asked the person, I said, and I can tell by the way people write sometimes that they are Jamaican, because nobody outside of Jamaica does not just type in patois, so on. So, okay. So I did a story yesterday and I explained my reason for my choice in this election. I was met with, oh, I'm lying. And I shouldn't be lying. No reason to lie, SouFlo. So I said to the person, I said, listen, have you served in the military? Were you in the military? Their answer was no, but they have friends that are veterans. I said, if you've served in the military, then we can have this conversation. Okay? I am insulted. Let me tell you, first of all, right? You have some military veterans that will associate closely with people who have never served or civilians. But for those who served, especially those who served an extended period of time, and especially those who are like combat veterans, they tend to not keep civilian friends. That's for one. Okay, and there are many reasons behind that. However, to have a civilian tell me, or to have someone who has never served accuse me of lying when I tell my story along with the reason why I choose who I chose, I found it insulting. And I found it insulting because I remember when I was going to Kaiser University, right? I'm sitting in class one day and a discussion came up, and I remember a couple of things. I remember one, I said to this white girl that was sitting in the classroom, she was a white lady because there was a lot of grown people in my classroom. So I said to this white lady, I don't know what we were talking about. I said, Germany is more advanced than the United States of America when it comes to stuff like renewed energy or renewal of energy, and they are more advanced when it comes to recycling, and they are more advanced when it comes to medicine and healthy food supply, because half of the stuff that is accepted on the food shelves here in the US are not accepted in Germany. We were speaking specifically about Germany. And the reason why I was able to say that, because I had lived in Germany for about roughly 9 years. Germany was where I was stationed, and I would fly out to a combat zone or wherever. This is where we would deploy from. I heard, well, if you love damn Germany so much, why don't you take your ass back to Germany? Mind you, she didn't know why I said what I said. She didn't know that I was in Germany for all those years. She didn't know that I wasn't just guessing. Here I was dealing with someone that is blind patriotically. Oh, I also said that Germany was ahead of the US in education. Hurt her feelings. You know those people who are blindly patriotic and you can't say nothing about the country that they love so much? So I asked her, I said, have you ever been in the military? She said, no. I said, did your husband ever serve in the military? Because she used to drive a big old truck to school. The truck is on some huge wheels and sits very high. And I'm thinking a woman probably wouldn't just get that truck for herself. It looks like a man truck. Plus, I noticed everything, and I saw like construction stuff on the truck. So it tells me that she was driving a man's truck. I also saw her arrive in a vehicle before, which looks very much like a soccer mom's vehicle. And it actually said soccer mom on the back of the vehicle. So talking to her, I realized that she was a soccer mom. She was stay-at-home mom, take care of her kids while her husband makes the big bucks. It all came out in this conversation anyways. So I asked her, did your husband serve? Nah, he didn't. What gives you the right to tell me to take my ass back to Germany for me simply stating facts? I've lived in both places for an extended period of time, and I've seen it on the other side. It's just like those people who are still in the mind frame that they eat people, like Africa is filled with just diseases and flies crawling over everybody's face, and they're so emaciated they can't move because they're all dying of hunger, and they live in huts and they chuck spears at each other and they eat people, and it's a land of cannibals and diseases. If you're still of that mind frame, it's because you were programmed that way. So she's been programmed that way. I've had one white boy actually tell me, he said, shout out to all the veterans, or respect to all my veterans. And I said, I'm a veteran. because he always carried a Confederate flag. It was on his book bag, right? And I saw it. So he was like, respect to all the veterans, whatever. I jumped in. I said, I'm a veteran. He said, well, nobody asked you for your service. I thought, So when this person yesterday, who is a Jamaican, actually said, you don't have no reason to lie, SouFlo, you shouldn't lie, because I have never heard any veteran say what you said. If I was close enough to that person, it would have been an all-out confrontation. You don't, and I don't expect a civilian-minded person to understand this, but you have no right to question a veteran's validity. Let another veteran do that. When you've given 10 years of waking up every morning on beat, of missing how many holidays at home, every single holiday, of being in places where you never thought you were going to make it back from, and then you look at somebody who has never done any of that, but they question your validity, or if you say something about your experience, you're told, you're a liar, tell man, you never have to lie, SouFlo. I have friends that are veterans. How many veteran friends do you really have? Are you trying to tell me that you have never served in the military and you have 10 friends and 9 of them are veterans? So you have a good idea of what veterans go through, and you're so close to those 9 friends. You go to the VA appointments. You hang out at the VA hospital. And while you're there with them, you hear all the complaints and everybody is happy. Like, this is a conversation it pains me to have with a civilian-minded person. Anyhow, my story that I put on that video yesterday was the fact that I went through a period recently where I lost all my military benefits, like totally cut off. And this happened under Donald Trump. And I am not the only veteran that has gone through this. I know a lot of my infantry brothers right now, people that were brave enough to say, I don't want to be in finance. I don't want to be in the mail room chucking mail. Put me on the ground, coach. Put me in the game, coach. Teach me how to do it and then send me. Those guys, a lot of them are back now from multiple combat tours, and they are losing their benefits, and they are having to fight, like scratch the paint off the wall fight to get their benefits back. I lost mine for roughly 2 years. So I was without my benefits for 2 years. Now, as you know, I am a Jamaican, and I am not a Jamaican that just visits Jamaica and I was born overseas. I am Jamaican, right? So certain things were instilled in me, like don't put all your egg them in a one basket. So I never did. So even after I got out the military and I got awarded benefits that were good enough to take care of everything on a monthly basis, I still had a part of my brain that said, I fit them money that. Them can take that way at any given time. And everybody is like, or everybody within the VA and the military is like, you don't have that nothing to worry about. Once you're awarded, you're good. That's for life. Not me. I never, ever depend on just one source. I might have a source that I lean on more than others, but I never depend on one source. And I never depend on one stream of income. So there's a lesson in this for you this morning. Listen to me. Never depend on one source or one stream of income. Because that one stream of income crashes, like our grandparents used to say, you put all of your eggs them in a one basket, you drop the basket, the egg them mash up, you're done. right? So it was with that principle that I decided, you know what? Make sure you create multiple streams of income. That is why I went to school after I got out of the military. I took some time off. I found myself because when I got out, I realized that I felt like I was running on a treadmill and the treadmill had stopped, but my legs were still moving as if I was on a treadmill, and I needed to come back to being a civilian or being around civilians. So I took some time. I took a job at Walmart, figure myself out. My mom had a restaurant, very successful restaurant here in Florida, by the way, which was just down the street from where the Walmart that I was working at. And she used to come there and she used to clown me, my mom. But I'm a friend that, right? That's my boo-boo. That's my queen. She used to come there and clown me. She used to say stuff like, I'm there in Walmart on my knees wearing knee pads, stocking bottom shelf, cleaning out shelf. And my mom would come there and she would stand over me and she would say, your mother have a good restaurant down the road and you're in here and do this? No, man. Get up and go help your mother run our restaurant, man. And then she would say it in a joking way. But the people who worked at the Walmart that I worked at also knew. It was funny because when lunchtime came, I would hear everybody taking orders. Yo, I'm heading out to Jerky's. What do you want for lunch? And they'll be like, yeah, give me a curry chicken and this and that. And I'm like, look at all these people leaving here to go to my mom's restaurant. This time, none of them knew that was my mom. It took about a year and change of me being there for them to actually find out, hey, is that your mom down the street? With that, yeah, that's my mom's restaurant. That's my mom. Oh, what are you working here for? Why don't you go work at your mom's restaurant? So I took time out just to, because I had issues, people, real issues. Like even working at Walmart, I knew I had to submerge myself in a crowd in order to be able to handle crowds again. I have children. What am I going to do when my children it's time for them to go to football. It's time for them to go to dance classes, lessons, and that's what it ended up being. But I knew I had to get myself right or else I couldn't participate. So I'll be in Walmart and I had no idea. I'll never forget one day there was a mosque. There was a mosque that's close by this Walmart and I didn't know it. And the mosque had just let out after prayers. Now you can imagine fresh out the Middle East on frontline duties as a infantry soldier, and you come back and you get out and you go to Walmart and you're there in Walmart on your knees, and all of a sudden you see a large group of people that are all looking exactly like the people that you left. I mean, they were wearing the full getup, like only that showing type of thing. You know how their traditional dress. And I remember having an out-of-body experience in the middle of Walmart. And I thought, damn, this is something I really got to work on. Because right now I'm feeling like bolting for the front door. I'm feeling like I'm looking for my weapon. And I realized that I have issues. Like I can't be around people crowds for too long. Yeah, head job. Thank you, babe. Morning, babe. So I realized that I had issues. I can't be around people for too long. Anyhow, I've been there. I've done that. Certain benefits are awarded to you at a certain percentage, so on and so forth. You get your retirement pay, you whatever. I had all my benefits wiped out. One day went to $0.00 under Donald Trump, who claims that they love veterans so much. So to have a civilian tell me, no need to lie, SouFlo. You don't have to lie. My wife is on here this morning. As you saw, she just told me about the hijab. I was lost for words. But she'll let you know. I lost my benefits for. Now, it was all praises to the Most High. I was not dependent on that benefit to survive, because I made myself not dependent on that benefit to survive. So my cry for help was at a lower volume than those veterans who are out here with real issues. Have you ever been on a search and rescue mission for veterans? I have, as a civilian, because when I was going to Kaza University, there's actually a veterans department within the university. And some of the things that we do in the university, we got together as veterans and we got into the USO vehicles and we went out into the bushes looking for homeless veterans that don't even know how to access their benefits. And they're robbed of their benefits because no one is telling them how to get to it. So they're out living in the bushes. A lot of them have issues, cannot be among civilians. They actually prefer to build a mini city of tents way out in the bushes. And they booby trap the whole place with sound and all this stuff. So you're going in there, you had to know somebody to go in there. And we go in there and we found them and we'll take them to the VA. We'll take them to their appointments. We'll help them do their paperwork to access their benefits. And I ended up losing all mine after doing all that. Luckily, I wasn't one of them who were desperate and needed every dollar from that. So to have a civilian tell me, and then a Jamaican at that, about a lot of my friends are veterans. No, they're not. Stop lying. Stop lying. Unless you work in an environment where veterans normally work after they've done their service and active duty, there's no way you're going to be a civilian and have majority of your friends be veterans. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. I would need a whole video to explain to you a list of things why it don't work that way. Kind of reminds me of the singer. I forgot what her name is. Babe, you remember the Jamaican singer who said she was going to vote for Trump and they threw her under the bus. I don't even see anybody like giving her any strength, any energy anymore. It's like the whole Jamaica came out to shoot bow and arrows at this sister. You remember her, babe? What's that singer name? And Etana, thank you. Bro Shaka, thank you. Now, what Etana said made sense. Etana said she did not want to age in a place where she will become more vulnerable as she ages. She said, talk truth. If anything happened to me right now, I'm having a heart attack at my house, and one of my family members called 911. How quick will an ambulance get there? How quick will a ambulance with a certified technician, a certified person who knows what they're doing when it comes to first aid, when it comes to dealing with a heart attack, when it comes to dealing with a stroke, how quickly will that person reach me? So basically she was advocating for us aging in place. Yes, Jamaica is beautiful. Yes, when you're young and you can move around and enjoy yourself and you're not dependent on others to take care of you. But as you get older and health issues start to come into play, she's like, I'd rather be in the US until certain things fix up. And they lambasted this sister. They just tore her down from left, right, and center. And I really had to think about it. She didn't say nothing wrong. She later said that her issue was valid, but the person that she said she would vote for actually is somebody she would not vote for because she didn't know that he said certain things. But her issue was valid. Now, I don't want no civilian questioning me. If I open my wallet, you'll see my card, and that's it. That's all I have to tell you. Other than that, if I share stories with you, just take it with a grain of salt. I don't want you questioning me, questioning my validity, questioning my years in service, questioning. I don't need your validity. I don't need you to validate my life stories. I don't need your approval for what I have already done and I have already been through and what I am going through right now. So I see a lot of Jamaicans that are about to vote for Trump. Let's start with yesterday. I'm driving down the street and I'm here in Florida, USA. I'm driving down the street and I saw a truck. It looks like a truck that works with pumping oil, because I saw a lot of them in Texas, so I'm familiar with them now when I see them anywhere. So the truck had some kind of contraption on the back, and it says, veteran for Trump. Actually, it didn't say veteran for Trump, it said Trump. Trump 2020 is what it said. At the front of the vehicle is a big old Jamaican flag. So I was trying to get the man to wind the windows down so I could see if he was actually Jamaican for real. And if he was, I probably would have followed him because I had some time on my hands. I probably would have followed him just to have like a gas station conversation. You Jamaican? Yeah, I'm Jamaican. All right, then. Yo, everything good? You good? Yeah. All right. You voting for Trump? Yeah, man. I am the man. Okay. Why? Why though? Why are you voting for Trump? That's what I would have asked. Why are you voting for Trump? But I see a lot of Jamaicans that are voting for Trump, that have decided that this is who they're going to cast their votes for. And it kind of reminds me of, I remember one Black American saying, F y'all. F you, y'all. And the reason why he said it, he said, when y'all come over here, y'all don't side with us. We've been fighting this fight for a long time. And everybody come here as immigrants. Some of y'all come here illegally, you get straight. And you side with the same people that didn't want you here in the first place. And you side against us. And I thought, wow, that's fitting. That's very fitting. One Jamaican told me yesterday that right now I'm in America under asylum. And that's a whole different video we're going to do, because there's a brother out there that needs help. And he's reaching out to me to reach out to our community for some help. All his papers are straight. He has everything he needs to find a job to work. He's here on asylum and he's been given his papers and everything. His story is really deep and really complicated, but we're going to get into that on another. He was like, "Me don't have no problem with Trump. Trump let me in. Trump gave me asylum." He was running from Jamaica and Trump gave him asylum. So he has no problem with Trump. So you're going to vote for Trump. Did you know that if it was up to Trump and not people fighting him, immigration would still be on lockdown completely right now? If it was up to Trump, you as an asylum seeker would have never been allowed to come into the country, period. So it's funny, I don't think people are educated on the facts. They see stuff happen and they see a figurehead in office and they figure that it's that figurehead that is making those things happen, those good things happen. When in fact, it's other people that are fighting that figurehead to make those good things happen. That figurehead is actually fighting to make those good things stop because it benefits a class of people that they look down upon and do not care about. When the New York Times released Trump's, and this is one of the things, like for instance, the reason why he didn't want to release all his papers, well, and apparently New York Times got a hold of all his stuff 10 years back. Go and look it up. It was published yesterday. The man paid $750 in income tax and federal taxes. $750. Do you know how many struggling people out here could do with paying $750 for the entire year? That's how much he paid in years. That's how much he paid altogether in years. And then halfway point, turn my lights back on. And then you have people saying stuff like, I said, give me a list of things that he has done for the black community that I can go look up. Please, people, listen, don't send me stuff if you're not sure. Because there are a couple of things I do is, one, I'm going to vet the source. Meaning, you send me something, sit and listen here, SouFlo, I don't know what y'all talk about. Trump did all these things for the black community. He created more jobs in the black community. He did this and he did that. First of all, I'm going to take your article that you send and I'm going to vet your source. Who wrote this article? And then I'm going to dig into their background and find out why they felt the need to twist stuff in that manner. Then I'm going to dig into individually all the things that you said on that paper. So please don't think I'm one of those people that you just send stuff and I'm like, oh, okay. So now I agree with you. I don't. I literally sit at my computer for hours every day, researching. While I'm doing other things, come back to researching. I'm on the phone constantly, researching if I'm on the move. So I'm not just the type of person to just jump on anything. You saw it, babe, about his taxes? And every year they choke me with taxes. And the more money I make is the more my voice even changed when I get to that point, because the more money I make is the more taxes they squeeze out of me. I have to pay back taxes in the thousands. And this man paid $750 in how many years? How? And this is somebody that I should, and on top of squeezing me to death, your own frig up cost me all my military benefits. I've got all my military benefits back, by the way. And I knew that I was going to get it back, by the way. But the process that I had to go through in order to get it back, it felt like I was getting ready to go to combat all over again. My anxiety was through the roof again. And I had to get up and deal with this on a daily basis while I watch this man on the screen say how much he cares about veterans. I am in the veteran circle. I don't have any civilian friends. So that is how my story is validated. I am in the veteran circle. I go to the VA hospitals. I talk to the disgruntled veterans who speak to me. We all going through the same thing. Not to mention, man, the list could go on and on. On and on. So I'm trying to figure out why Jamaicans and then African Jamaicans, Black Jamaicans, Jamaicans of African descent, because, you know, in Jamaica, we have the out of many one people. And so we have Indians and we have Chinese and we have, or Asian, I should say, because Chinese are just a sub. So we have Asians, we have European Caucasoids, we have some of everybody is represented. But I'm talking to the black people. I'm talking to the black people. Ain't no such group of people as, there's no race of people called Latinos. Well, there are, Latin. They're Europeans. Latin is more like a culture, but they're Europeans. Anyhow, I'm wondering why black Jamaicans are voting for Trump. And every time I say to them, send me a comprehensive list of things that this man has done, that benefits us or our community in any way. Show me a video clip of him being on the forefront for us. Am I supposed to ignore when black people come out bearing arms, which is our constitutional right to bear arms? So when we come out to protest, we come out with our guns out. For those of us who know the law and know that we are protected under those laws, or refuse to be sitting ducks. So we're going to use the law to protect ourselves just like they use the law to protect themselves. Am I supposed to ignore when he calls those people thugs and hoodlums and all kinds of derogatory names? But when white people put on their vests and all this up-armored gear and come out with their AR-15 and 7 magazines with 30 rounds apiece and a flamethrower and everything else under the sun, he says, those are good people. They're just going through it and they just want their normal life back, you know, under this pandemic stuff. Am I supposed to ignore all that? Do you remember the Ranger, U.S. Army infantry soldier, black dude that went into combat, lost his life? I tell you, I think he died by friendly fire. But anyways, went into combat, lost his life. Do you remember what Trump said to his widow? So this is somebody that you think respects you. This is somebody that you're going to vote for because of what now? Let me entertain some of these comments real quick. Let me scroll back a little bit because sometimes I miss what people are saying because I'm speaking. So, hi SouFLo, Google Tesla Tower in Texas. Who is Trump's late uncle, John Trump, who was head of MIT and was the one who took Nikola Tesla designs? Elon Musk building factory in Texas under Trump. No war. Trump don't like himself. They don't want no Jamaican there, so they like what he's doing. What has Obama done? Okay. And that's usually, I was waiting for that. And that's usually the question that, remember I did a video Friday, I think it was Friday, how I said, we're usually so quick to run to others. And we will take all the mistreatment from others over and over, and we will make excuses for why we take the mistreatment. But we get one violation from our own kind, and it doesn't matter all the good they've done. What has Obama done? Let's talk about Obamacare. Obamacare wasn't even supposed to be called Obamacare. It was an overhaul of the healthcare system, but because they wanted to brand it Obamacare, because they knew that they were going to fight it to the ground and then make it fail and then call it a failure, it would sit good being called Obamacare. It's just like we can call Corona Trump's disease or Trump-corona, because it was his lack of jumping into action when he needed to that caused what we have now, which is over 7 million infected United States people, residents, citizens. People ask, what did Obama do? I was good under Obama. Everything was good under Obama for me. I was also conscious of the fact that he was not able to do much because there was an obstruction party that was designed to make sure that he didn't do much. and then to dismantle everything that he did do. He had to fight tooth and nail to get anything done at all. What happened to President Obama is a close-up look of what happens to the black man in society in the U.S. today, or in the time that he served. They were more focused on making him a one-term president than they were on actually working with the president to make the country better. They didn't give a damn about the country. They wanted to get him out of there. First of all, they didn't want him in there because their history books should not have reflected that someone like that made it in. And then their history books should definitely not reflect that he was one of the best to ever do it. Highly educated, eloquently spoken, has a cool, calm demeanor about himself, handles business, etc., etc. It was never to be. They didn't want to see it. So they spent all their time fighting every single thing that Obama actually tried to do. The sad part, though, is we are under Trump, and we've been under Trump for the last 4 years. So when I ask them, so point out what Trump has done, show me, their reply usually is, so what has Obama done? Obama left office. He's no longer on the radar. That's not who we're talking about. And me talking about what has he done has no validity in me asking you to show us what the current president has done in his last 4 years that would validate me voting to give him another 4 years. That's all I'm asking. I don't want you to question me when I questioned you first, answering a question with a question. I want you to tell me what he's done so I can go look it up for myself and see if it's true. Maybe I've missed some things. What has Obama done? Anyhow, I'm just surprised that there are so many Jamaicans that are actually on that wagon. But you know, there's a large group of Jamaicans, the African Jamaicans, black Jamaicans, that are very subservient. I'm going to go out my way and say this. They're very subservient to white people. And it doesn't matter how the white people treats them, whether it's subconsciously or their conscious effort to try so hard to fit into their world, to belong. They just praise them a lot of the times for no reason. So it's with that same mentality. Like I see one Jamaican saying, I could never be a Democrat, Republican for life. That's how I read the comment. It was written in English, but I'm just throwing the accent in there so you get it. I could never be a Republican. I'm Democrat. I'm Republican for life. And I thought to myself, it's the same ignorance that they come with in Jamaica. JLP for life. PNP for life. My mother, me born come see my mother, my father, PNP. My born come see my granny, them a JLP. So a JLP me stay for life. Okay. Let's talk about the issues though. What have they actually done for you? All right. So that's where we're at. So Acacia Bryan says, man, you need to stop paying attention to MSN, whatever MSN is. Somebody else says, stop voting for Democrats. See, these are the kind of, it's just like, you could sense the ignorance. I got it now. I know what it is. I know what it, do you see Donald Trump's personality? You see his personality, right? There's a way that you can be no nonsense. There's a way you can be a no nonsense kind of person, but you can still have a calm demeanor, or you can still maintain a professional bearing, especially when addressing the public. But some people are egotistical, narcissistic, and it allows them to be disrespectful to just about anybody they choose. And this is the kind of demeanor that he has. And if you notice, the people that support him, they carry the same kind of demeanor. They carry the same kind of demeanor. Now, it's always been my experience that the loudest mouth never wins a fight when it's time to fight. It's the fighter who can actually fight that wins the fight. It's the fighter who remains composed under pressure, keep a level head, and is able to see things from all angles that wins the fight. You go in there all out of anger and whatever else is driving you, you're swinging left, right, and center. They're not Democrats, they're Democrats. I don't care about the name calling, man. I don't run a children's platform. I run grown people platform over here. So if you're going to call names, disrespect people, at least give a valid explanation. Post some information that we can go look up. Let's share the intelligence. Enlighten me. Enlighten me. That's what I want you to do. I don't want you to say, oh, I'm just voting for Trump. 2020 Trump all the way. I specifically asked you to post a list of things that he has done for us that benefits you and people like you. Specifically, that benefits you. Because y'all wanted Obama to be the first black guy in office, blah, 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 that actually came and just saved the black community. That shit was never gonna happen. He can't do anything just specifically for black community. But y'all are acting like Trump can do stuff for black, or specifically for the black community. So I want to know, what is it that he did? I might have missed the train. Jamaicans voting for Trump. Din Dinley says, whatever they call us, IG, don't know our opinions are that valid, so IG, whatever. The white man label us. Robbie says, nobody will ever be fully committed to the black race unless they are or have come up with our culture, as hard as it sounds. And that is a fact. Even a lot of those who came up with our culture still do not feel akin to us enough to side with us when big issues arise. They will always be thinking on code. They will always be thinking them first. It's one of the reasons why I actually spoke about like these women movements that were going around. And I said that these women movements actually weakens anything that is empowering black, any kind of those movements that are set in place to empower the black community. The reason is it takes the black woman out of that equation and puts her over here. She's no longer fighting for the black man, woman, and child. She's fighting for all women. Now here's the thing. Did you catch that? She's no longer fighting. They just weakened the numbers. She's no longer over here fighting for black women and child rights. She's now over here fighting for women's rights. It's kind of the same concept. So while she's over here fighting for women's rights, right? Watch the trick. Her numbers have bolstered over here. So those within power that are looking at those numbers are like, man, they're in the thousands and the hundreds of thousands. Got to give them those rights. So they give them those rights. Now, here's the thing that happens. After they get those women's rights, she realizes that others get to exercise those rights, not her. So she gets kicked back over here to be reminded that she's black. Taken away from the fight and used. It's the same thing with the open carry laws. They'll have us out there every now and then, bolstering their numbers. And in every one of those big crowds, you'll see one black guy. Matter of fact, you'll see one black guy carrying a Confederate flag. But you'll see one black guy. And you think it's you think it's for you. Until your black behind actually decides, okay, the laws have passed. It says we can open carry. I'm riding down the street in Texas and I see a whole Mossberg pump rifle attached to the inside of a pickup truck to the glass. And it has a rack on the glass where they hang the gun, and you driving behind this vehicle, you can see it. And the car might have like 4 gun stickers, a rifle, a shotgun, a picture of a 9mm and some other kind of weapon there, and something that says, these are my family, or some, you won't take my guns over my dead body, that kind of stuff. And they're able to walk around with these guns. There's a brother on YouTube, I don't know if the video is still there, that actually had the same conversation, and he purposely went out. He has a permit to carry his firearm, which is all you need in an open state. He went out, carried his gun, and within, I would say, about less than 2 minutes of being in the streets, woo, 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 he's surrounded. Guns drawn on him. Mind you, he's in an open state. And he just walked past white people with their guns swinging off their hips. You can see it from a mile away. And they do it happily because they're in a state that allows them to do it. They're in an open state. So the black dude decides to try his luck to see if these laws can apply to him too, right? Because he was out there fighting for the same laws to pass, right? And as soon as he steps out, he could have lost his life. He could have lost his life. And it turned into one of those where he started to question back the police. Are we not in an open state, officer? And the police says, yes, we are in an open state. But are you legally carrying your firearm? He says in an open state, as long as that firearm is legal and I have no criminal records, I am allowed to carry my firearm in the manner in which I'm carrying it in. The grounds on which I'm standing has nothing posted that says open carry not allowed here. A lot of people, by the way, became fearful. They are gun advocates, but they were fearful of the fact that it would drive away business. I mean, who would want to be sitting in a restaurant, fine dining, right? And then you see I'm sorry, but white people scare me. Like, every time I'm anywhere and they come around, if a white dude walks in and he's looking all jumpy and everything and he has a bag or he has on an overcoat, I'm looking for the exit, or I'm looking where I can strategically place myself in case he starts the massacre. I have a good reason to be that way. I'm puzzled, though. I'm really puzzled as to why. These laws don't apply to us. They'll use us to help them to fight to get the law to pass. And we go all in because we think we're going to benefit from it until you go out there and you try to use it. I'm exercising my constitutional right, officer. Get down on the ground. Or they just shoot. Bum, 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 bum. Why the hell did you shoot him 14 times? Because he had a weapon. And I feared for my life, even though he was running away from me. Well, did you know that he was also carrying legally in an open carry state? Let's just sweep that away. It don't apply to us. I would never be confident carrying my weapon on the outside of my clothing for everybody to see, being a black man. If I was a white man, I would do it because I know that I would be seen as, oh, he's exercising his constitutional rights to carry that gun there on the outside of his uniform. His getup, his attire. But I know if I did it as a black man, more than likely I could lose my life. Instantly. Hell, there's a little black boy that was playing in his own backyard with a toy gun. Of course, their fence around the yard was short. Police rolled around, saw that gun, and opened fire on the little boy. So keep on thinking you're included. Okay? And again, I remember an African-American brother said, when y'all come over here, y'all don't side with us. A lot of y'all jump on the other side and fight for those who have been fighting against us for the longest. Because I was having a discussion about, and I'll put up a video recently, right, about Jamaican versus African-Americans or African-Americans versus Jamaicans, the beautiful struggle, us being the same damn people, just slave ships dropped us off at different ports, different locations, and we are trying to understand each other through our cultural differences, through our whatever it is that divides us. I am trying to put a genuine effort towards understanding it and to help them to see it as well. So we were having that type of a conversation, and that struck a chord with me when he said that. We've been here fighting for the longest. Frontline, taking the brunt of the hits. And y'all come over and you enjoy the things that we've been fighting for while turning against us. To join forces with the people who've been fighting us all along. So yeah, there is a division. But it's based off something like that. It's not just, oh, we don't like you because you come from there. It's what y'all do when y'all get here. That is valid, man. That is valid. I'm trying to figure out why. Why? Like that Jamaican said to me yesterday, and I have nothing but against Trump. In other words, he'll give Trump his vote because Trump made me come here and asylum me there under. Go and look up what recently happened with the asylum laws. Go and look it up. Because I don't know if y'all know this. I'll do a matter of fact, I was supposed to do a immigration update video. And that it was supposed to be about the asylum laws and some changes that were made recently, which he has been fighting for all along. And now he has the power to do so because it did pass in his favor. So we are at 59 minutes and 50 seconds. All right. Stay tuned for the asylum laws videos. A lot of people who think they're safe are about to get ramrodded. I'll just say that. Stay tuned for the asylum video. I'm going to do the video in detail and put facts in it that those of you who love to seek out facts, irrefutable facts, can go and look it up and see that I'm talking sense and facts. Not emotions, not my ideas, but facts. It is what it is. It's there. Paper and ink. Signed, sealed, and delivered. So there's no need, needless to say, I'll say this at the top of the hour before I close the show out. I am definitely on the Biden-Harris ticket. And the light goes out on time. Have a wonderful day, people. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Continue to have this discussion because I want to see it in the comment section. I'm still searching for, and I want those who like to talk a lot, your fingers do a lot of this or a lot of this. I want you to actually leave some proof. Leave me evidence. Leave me stuff that I can go look, something to chew, bite into, and chew on. And I'll get back to you with the facts. All right? Bless up. Have a wonderful day. Spread some love around. Be good to yourself. And be good to others around you. Don't do stuff to people that you wouldn't want done to you. Just keep it like that. Like my granny said, don't do stuff to people that you don't want done to you. Period. Just so. All right? I'm out. Catch you tomorrow morning on Morning Thoughts right here with SouFLoTV. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.